I love it. Oh, God.
Yeah.
All right.
Welcome.
We've got our two guests with us on the cavalry.
That's our first ever cat bomb.
Really?
Yeah, we've done a lot of these, and I don't know if no one's had a cat.
No, yeah, we did
or-
have one more cat bomb. The biker, your buddy, the biker buddy. What's his name, Mike?
Oh my God.
Biker buddy.
I'm such an a-hole.
My
And he
bike-
listens to this, and I forgot his name.
Mike Cummings, my biker buddy.
Mike Cummings.
Well, we got a third cat bomb. It's Johnny's shirt.
Oh, that's
Oh,
right.
yeah.
Adam's shirt.
Cats all over the place. Some
Cool
cool
cats.
cats on the show.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Welcome to the cavalry, everybody.
Yeah, good to be back.
Good to be back. Our special guest this week is Steven Rogers out of New York, a hilarious comedian.
Heard of it?
Oh man.
Where do you
don't
live?
guys,
Oh.
don't get intimidated by the weight here, all right? I don't want you to think that, that is 3 pounds. But look, I'm just like you guys.
Wow.
Have you been working? You've been lifting those 3 pounds during the quarantine, staying in good shape?
I've been doing. We got the bike. I don't do weights. I just pedal on the bike and hate myself, and it's a whole thing.
Does the bike have like a weight rack on the back, or why is the weight on the bike?
Yeah, that's a weight rack. But yeah, it was a bit that went longer than I thought it was going to.
And now we're asking serious questions about your exercise bike.
You,
We are yes-anding the shit out of you.
yeah. And a real good sight gag on the podcast
Right.
is always.
Oh,
I
yeah,
know what I'll
yeah,
do.
yeah.
I'll put a weight behind me. It's more stuff will come to me later, but we'll
Yeah.
start with putting the weight behind me.
We'll wing it. We'll wing it when
Yeah.
we're on the wax.
Yeah, well, you like the cat thing so much. I thought.
Yeah. Johnny and I are master improvisers. We see a weight or a cat, and we really can go in a million different directions. Like, hey, what is that? Do you lift that? We're comedic geniuses. What is that? A cat? Is that your pet? You can tell.
We are good. We got
Gotta
that
be careful.
rat-a-tat-tat. That's what it is.
What
Oh,
what
man.
what part of New York are you in? Where do you live in New York? My wife is obsessed with New York, and she talks about moving there all the time. But I don't know if it's in the cards right now for us. But what part of New York are you in?
I'm in Astoria, Queens.
Ah,
Where all comics go,
That's
and
right.
I love it.
I've crashed in a comedian's house in Astoria, Queens, so I know that it's a hot. It's like the
Yeah.
East Hollywood of New York, like LA's
Yes.
East Hollywood. I feel like.
It's great. It's quiet at night. It's safe. It's like all like road comics seem to be living here. See all your buddies.
That's so funny. It's like it's quiet, it's safe. All the reasons you moved to New York City, Just get away from the noise and the crime and
Yeah. It's great. I love it.
yeah.
And you aren't you recording an album later this year?
Yes. November 5th and 6th, I'm recording my first album in Jamestown, New York.
Very exciting.
Thank you. I'm looking forward to it. I'm bulking up and gonna do that sweet cat bit up top. So it's gonna be great.
If you need Johnny and I there to juice it a little bit, just let me know.
Please, I need some
Yeah.
improvisers.
We
I
can
need
stream.
some guys that can roll with my yes ands.
Nice. We'll do that. We'll open it up and we'll maybe interrupt the show.
Yeah.
It'll be
Some
hilarious.
pixelated audio and really like.
Yeah. Yeah.
Well, that's awesome. Thanks for making time for us, man. Thanks for coming on the podcast.
Thanks for having me. I'm excited to be here. I should have got a virtual background. I didn't know.
Yeah,
Well,
it's okay.
both of our virtual backgrounds are not as exciting as most.
It's funny. Johnny keeps making fun of me, but like I used to have like both of us. What we did was we took pictures of the office area we used to be able to work in, and then moved into the basement and used the green screen and then made it look like we were still in the like pristine office, because now
Right.
mine's a nursery and Johnny I think just has to go in the basement a lot.
But
But
this is what mine normally is.
Yours looks great. Why are you showing a worse backdrop?
Oh, mine?
ooh, background shade on number 2.
No, it's because it's. And I took a picture. I went to my brother's house, took a picture in his house. So when he sees the clips go up, he'll be like, "What the hell? When were you recording in my?" And now I can't find it, so I think we're stuck. All right.
You can't go back.
Oh no, there we go. There it
You're
is.
gonna have to pull all the clips from that sweet first 10 minutes where we were riffing on weights and cats.
I knew I didn't bring it up top. I apologize.
No, it's not your fault. That's actually better than average for us. But then, so I used to have the same thing, but then like, I don't know, somehow all my pictures got deleted off my computer. Or like, you know how Zoom saves, maybe you don't know because you don't have a virtual background, but Zoom will save your pictures of your backgrounds, and somehow they got deleted, and I had like the cavalry written on it, and it was like perfect.
Oh.
So I panicked and downloaded this like palatial estate 5 minutes before one of our shows, and I've just been using this. I'm too lazy to go to it again, so I've been using this for like 6 weeks. And Johnny's always like, "Don't you have time? Couldn't you just take 5 minutes?" And I was like, "No, I do not have the time."
I don't have that time.
Oh man, Johnny's looks real until I remembered what time of day it is.
That's right. That's right. Yeah, I shouldn't have included a window. I should have taken a picture somewhere else in his house. Oh well. That's all right. I got see, mine looks a little crisp because I got the green.
Oh my god, that's great. Oh, so the second one wasn't your real background.
The second one was the second one. Yeah, that was a picture of my office upstairs.
Oh my! I thought it was your real wall. I was like, why are you showing?
No. It's the real wall upstairs.
This is all an elaborate meta comedy bit. And then if you pull up the green screen, he actually is at his brother's house right now, and it is the afternoon somehow. So I don't know how it's possible. It's the ultimate magic trick.
And he's in the pool in your background.
Yeah, he starts popping up. Yeah. Oh, if only we could do stuff like that. God damn, that would be so cool. We tried to do that as a promo because I was playing a college near Johnny, somewhere near where he lives in Madison, and so I stopped by his house, and we shot a promo for the podcast where we tried to make it look like we were still remote, but then we were like reaching over into each other's screens and stuff. And I think like maybe 1 or 2 people actually got it or saw it and got it. But I was like, this is very underappreciated because it was very thought out. You put a lot of effort into the continuity of it and everything. And yeah, it was like the Marvel universe.
Much. I stand by it.
Yeah. Oh man.
This is just to break it down. This is our pre-show banter section of the show.
Oh, hey, I love the pre-show.
Into our backup. Did you have anything exciting this week that you wanted to talk about? Either of you?
Oh, I mean, it's a stand-up thing, but it's kind of rare. Do I tell you the story now?
Go for it.
All right. I did the Hideout in Boston, and fun room, and it's like packed, and I'm like, okay, this is gonna be a great show. But the front, I think the second entire row, and it's maybe like 12 seats, is empty, and I'm like, what's going on here? And they're like, oh, it's reserved for a party, and I'm like, okay, and they're like, it's a bachelor party. And
the other way.
I've never performed in front of a bachelor party, but obviously the opposite is infamous. Right. So I was like, okay. And then they all come in. They're huge, buff guy, like frat looking guys. I'm not a big guy, but they all tower over me. And they're Boston guys, and they're hammered. The groom is missing, and it's like Hangover Part 1. They can't find the groom. The show doesn't start till the groom gets there. Oh. And I'm like, there's no way I get through this set alive. With like they're gonna heckle me as soon as I touch that mic. and they're quiet for the openers, and I'm like, oh wow, we might be okay. But they're drinking.
Yeah.
I get up there, they're the best crowd ever, and I'm like confused. They are like a little bit chatty, so I'm like, okay, it's gonna happen. Then I do crowd work with the groom, huge comedy nerd. I didn't even think that there could be good groups.
Wow.
So true.
I never thought there could be a good bachelor party. It was amazing.
No, that's so
Wow.
funny because like what you want in comedy is like individuals who like comedy, because if you bring a bunch of individuals together, they don't have the confidence to go at you or to be disruptive. They have no one to talk to. In fact, what they want to do is like, I don't want to talk to. I'm by myself. I just want to watch the show. That's what you want. But the bigger the group, because the worst thing is when it's a private party and they all know each other, like a corporate gig or something. And that's when they all feel the confidence to just interrupt you or like, hey, Jim's a funny guy or whatever. And you're right. So usually groups are bad. So good for that frat or bachelor party.
Yeah, I mean, it could be that just the groom was the comedy fan and they're like being good friends by not being douches.
Be respectful, bro. Be respectful to the openers too. Okay?
You know what?
Yeah.
The classic rule at a bachelor party is be respectful to whoever's on the stage.
Right.
Hey man, pay attention even during the check drop. Make sure they like know all the terms.
Let's put our card down before the show.
Whisper your orders. Don't.
Man.
Yeah, well, maybe your sign. Maybe it should have been a sign that because bachelor parties never pick comedy shows for whatever
Never.
reason.
I should have.
So
but I didn't trust it.
No, I wouldn't have either. No.
Well, maybe it's just a testament to, men versus women and how men just can handle themselves and women are just not meant to be out in public in groups. You heard it here on the Cavalry. We've been trying to get canceled for a long time.
What's so funny about that is you were like, you were like tipping your toe. It sounded like someone who's going to be very cautious about what you were going to say. But you kept the cautious tone in your voice, but just said the most outrageous thing you could pick.
I wonder if like Genghis Khan did that. And,
right.
Hey, we could, I'm just maybe
the Taliban's like, I just
not
sure about women driving. Maybe just not. It's just not for them. Or they get stoned. I don't know what the consequence would be. We can talk about that, but
oh man, so funny.
I had a bachelorette party at the Jukebox in Peoria, and they, I was bracing for a nightmare, and halfway through my show, I got startled because I was like, wait a minute, I thought there was a bachelorette party here, and they're like, oh yeah, we're here. I was like, wow, you guys are the best behaved bachelorette party I've ever seen. And they all have, they have the dickheads and the balloons and all that stupid shit, but they just behave themselves. I was like, wow. You are not like most groups of women. Most groups of women are terrible when you get them together and take it out in public, because we all know. Okay.
I did a club recently, and there was a bachelor. They were like, "Hey, just so you know, bachelorette party," and I'm like, "Here we go." It's first one after the pandemic. Walked in there, and it was 2 women. And I'm like, all right, we can take them. The comics outnumber the bachelorette party. We'll be fine.
Just a heads up, we do have the saddest bachelorette party at one of the 2 tops.
Wait, what happened with the? Because that made me think, what happened to the rest of that bachelorette party? But then, what happened with the groom? Did show up halfway through your set, or what?
The groom. They didn't start the show till the groom showed up.
Oh, they held the show for the groom?
Yeah.
Wow.
We were worried he had cold feet. Thank you. Steven Rogers, everybody. Yeah, he showed up, maybe 10 minutes late to the show.
Okay.
So that part was anticlimactic, but the
I'm
show
setting you
itself.
up, and you're not gonna. I keep bringing up the worst.
But that's weird because you would think like that just tells them, hey, this show is about you because we're not starting it until you're here.
Right. I know. I don't love that actually, but
that's a great point, and he could have had that power, like a surge in power. I did crowd work with him for maybe, I don't do crowd work really, but I did it like a minute, just being like, hey, when's your big day? Like he was being nice, so I was like, so when's your day and whatever, and he was like super anxious, which is like people that come to the two people that come to see me bachelorette parties. I have anxiety, so I was like, oh, okay, that's no wonder he is being so nice.
Yeah.
Is any of that English? All right. Anyways.
Well, do you want to plug your podcast? Because you have a podcast all about anxiety.
Yeah, Panic Attacking Podcast. It's really great. It's funny, and we just me and Andrew Chavone, we riff about what made us anxious during the week, and sometimes we have guests that are funny, anxiety-ridden comedians. We just had Brian Regan, and we've had Andy Kindler and people like that. So it's fun.
Nice, cool.
Yeah.
Well, do you need? So you mentioned anxiety, but do you need backup on anything this week? Do you have anything you need backup on?
Oh, that's great.
Slide into it.
I can go first this week if you want. If you want time to collect your thoughts, because I have a quick one. Have you been watching? Have either of you guys been watching the Olympics? Do you guys watch the Olympics? Johnny, I know you're not a sports guy.
I found out it was on. I found it was like going on the day of opening. I knew nothing leading up to it, and then I was at my cousin's.
Well, that's not so bad.
Oh, we got the Olympics on.
Very little here and there.
Yeah. Okay, so like I'm trying to get into it. I think there's something about it being like a year late and no crowds. It just doesn't have the same prestige, or I don't know why I don't care as much. But I was watching the water polo or something, which seems like insanely difficult, you know. So props to these women's water polo, and it was like the U.S. versus China, and then the Chinese were, you know, they're losing, and then they cut to their coach, and this coach is just screaming at him, but he's like this giant Polish guy, right? And so, and then I thought about it, and that's true. Like a lot of these teams will be coached by people who are not from the country, and so what I want backup on is I don't think it should be allowed. I don't think you should be allowed to have a coach or a trainer, a medical staff. No one involved with your team. They should all have to be from your country. You shouldn't be able to hire ringers. How is that different than just having like, oh, we're gonna have a small forward from Latvia, you know, and just pay him enough, and then it's the whole thing is like free agency.
Well, why stop at the Olympics? I mean, I think we should just segregate. You know, just divide. Okay, I'm gonna.
This whole episode is Johnny just trying to burn it all down.
I do. I guess I can back that up. I only struggle with backing it up out of lack of caring about the Olympics at all.
I think you're right, and like it's confusing. But I'm assuming the coach is from somewhere else, but is a citizen.
Yeah, I mean, I didn't look into it, but I don't think he does not have Chinese citizenship. I don't think this guy, you know, because that happens in American basketball. Like a lot of time, these American basketball coaches will coach other countries' teams because they have a lot of American coaches have a lot of prestige or experience or whatever coaching professionals, so they'll be hired to go coach Nigeria or some other country's team. I just think it's like it seems like it's cheating. And if Johnny, you're right, like, oh, that sounds like Andrew's like Hitler or something. I think you call me Hitler.
Let's roll the tape back.
Let's roll that back, but I'm pretty sure. But no, but then you're criticizing. Then that's what the Olympics are. You know, the Olympics is like segregating people from different countries, pitting them against each other. You know, that seems wrong. So if that's what the thing is, then you have to go all the way with it. That's my point.
No, I agree. But where like, so you're saying just blanket, no one, even the guy that brings the water to the players.
Yeah.
They got to be.
Yeah.
The guy who drives the bus,
Yeah.
the towel person,
Just
the the whole thing's got to be.
Just to remove any chance of an asterisk on a victory, like, well, that's because they had an American coach.
They had a Finnish water boy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, of course they won.
They're gonna win.
Yeah.
I think I'm with you here. I can back you up because it's national pride.
Right.
If that's a coach, you have probably like dozens and dozens of talented coaches from your country. Bring them into the limelight.
Yeah. Yeah, because imagine if you're like the best coach in North Korea or something, but then North Korea goes out and hires a coach from Canada for the North Korean hockey team, try and give them a leg up, you're going to be a little pissed off because you're like, as a North Korean hockey coach, how many opportunities am I going to have at a prestigious job here? I'm not getting any jobs in Canada, that's for sure.
Right. I love it.
Now I'm sold. That's a good point. Very good point.
Yeah. When you do it with love, it's easy to sell. No, national pride.
Yeah.
Oh man. Well, yeah, because I don't know, and it just seems like also I was imagining these Chinese women swimming around in a water polo match.
I've had that dream. Sorry.
But like if you watch water polo, they're big, strong people, and they're like trying to drown each other and hitting each other with the ball and all this stuff. And then on top of that, you have some Polish guy yelling at you in a language you don't understand. I don't even know how effective it can really be.
Yeah, they think they got water in their ears. They're like, oh, yeah. Sorry. I played water polo. I was a swimmer.
Get out of here.
I swear. I was a swimmer for 15 years, like competitively. And for fun, we would do water polo because, we were big into fun. So we would do water polo once in a while. And I don't know if you already know this. You have to
once a month we will have fun, guys. Once a month we will have fun.
We'll do the more dangerous water sport for fun. But you can't touch the bottom of the pool or the walls. So you have to tread water constantly.
What do you mean? It's not allowed or you can't because it's too deep?
It's not allowed. It's like it's disqualified. It's like traveling on basketball.
Well, and also the pool is too deep. It's not like a 4-foot pool and they're just keeping their
where
legs.
We played, it was you had the shallow and deep, but
oh really? Oh, okay.
Yeah, but I'm also very short. So, but yeah, you would have to tread water the whole time. So it's already exhausting. So somebody just drowned you. You can't stand up and like clear your face, and a foreign language being yelled at you. I can understand.
Sounds like fun.
Yeah, that's it.
Hey Johnny, you want to get together and play some water polo?
Get together and almost drown.
I hated it. It was my least favorite part.
It looks like of all the Olympic sports, I think it looks like the one I would want to play the least.
Yeah, it so
looks
bad.
like the hardest and the most, like stressful
and real cruel to the horses, as Carlin said. Not my joke. Yeah.
Yes. Okay. So you guys sound like you were tentative at first, but I've won you over.
Yeah, you won
to my nationalistic take on the Olympics.
I can't wait to see how that's edited by the tweeters.
Yeah. Luckily for us, nobody's
Yeah.
Nobody's doing the hard
I'm
work of going through the whole podcast.
I'm
Except for
striving
Johnny.
for having to worry about that.
Yeah.
All right,
Oh,
do
man.
you want me to go, or did you think of something?
I got a thing.
All right, you go.
Now forgive how this is my first time calling for cavalry, so I can't even say the word.
Nobody can. Nobody can. I swear to God.
Cavalry.
I had this. I was doing a virtual show, corporate gig.
Yeah.
McAfee Security, and there's a big executive who brought me up. This guy has probably got like 4 degrees or something, and he was like, and he's a co-host of the Calvary podcast. I mean, nobody can say it. It is an epidemic. I didn't know that when I picked the name. When we talked about
love
the
name.
I didn't know it was going to be a thing that everyone had a problem saying it, but it's like undefeated people not saying it.
Great name. It really sucks when you're calling for him though. Get the Calvins in here.
Yeah.
All right, so I have a thing about this is a thing I'm realizing lately that when you tell somebody you went camping and you tell them what you did, there's always well, that's not really camping. Every time. There's no, hey, that's great, you went camping. They're always like, no, you drove there, huh? That's not it's not camping. It drives me insane.
Right. So wait, do you have a limit on what you would call? Is there somewhere like if someone's like, oh yeah, we took our RV and we pulled into like a Best Western parking lot and we ate out at IHOP every meal. Do you have a limit, or do you just give the benefit of the doubt? Is that what you're asking for?
No,
if someone wants to call it camping, you can just let them call it camping, or
you know what? Oh God in heaven, my mic fell. No wonder you have it hanging from the ceilings. Until you said that, I don't know. RV, I'm fine. If you go to the woods,
yeah.
After that, it's camping for me.
Gotcha. Campground.
It can be campground. It can be middle of nowhere. You drive to the side of the road and hike into the woods. I think there's got to be woods.
Yeah. Or like beach. You can camp on the beach.
Nature. You gotta have nature around you. That's my standard to camping. Everyone else is like, no. You need a tent that you built out of shrub, and it's so. This is
right. Like, oh, you brought a lighter? No. You got to do the rock thing and spark the fire.
You got to be rubbing sticks, or I don't respect you as an outdoorsman.
Oh, you're wearing clothes? You're wearing clothes? You bought those at a store?
Yeah.
Okay, yeah. Nice glamping.
Oh yeah, glamping. That's what they would call it. What about a cabin? If I go to a campground and they have cabins and I rent one of those, is it still camping?
I think so.
Yeah. Okay, good.
Because you're depriving yourself. I think some people take camping as, I'm depriving myself of X, and then their list fluctuates. But if it's not your home, and it's in the woods, and if you if you don't prepare properly, you die. I think that's camping.
Right.
But that's me.
No, I'm with you. I'll definitely back you up. I am not a camper at all. Mm-hmm. Me and my wife, it doesn't. And that you're right. Your definition of what it is so true, because that's what that people want to rough it. That's what they say. We're gonna go rough it. We want to be roughing it.
Right.
It's like you just want to make your life a little bit worse.
Yeah.
And that's your vacation.
Temporarily.
Yeah, just temporarily harder.
But it's pretty.
Yeah.
It's like the amount of worse it gets if the pretty beats the worse.
The scenery, right.
Great camping trip.
No, and it's true. Like, I don't know why people need to What is that? Is it like ego for what they
For
have
sure.
been through?
It's ego. It's the people that are like, nah, man, I can live. I can live out there. I came back because I wanted to, not because I can't survive out there. You
Not
know?
because I had to.
Yeah, yeah.
I
They're
had
like,
so many. I had so many Coors Light left. Oh my gosh, you don't know. That cooler was still stocked when I got home, but
Oh,
we had
yeah,
to get the
yeah.
kids back in school.
I rationed that jerky. I could have.
Yeah.
I could have been out there another week.
Yeah.
Can't.
I back you up to the point where like I don't even care if it's ridiculous and doesn't even sound like camping. If the person that did it said they went camping, who gives a shit? Fine, you went camping. You know, I don't care. What are these people that are like, oh no. What do they have
It
to
drives
prove?
me
It sounds like
nuts.
they're insecure about something.
I like the way, Johnny, you're backing up everybody this week by just going, well, I don't give a shit. Say whatever you want. What do
That
I?
sounds
None of
like a
my
guy-
business.
Which
You want to
sounds like
say
a
you're
guy-
from? You want to say you're from Pluto? Go ahead. What do I give a shit? Well, I don't know, Johnny. We just thought we'd weigh in with our opinions. What are you asking me for? God damn it!
That sounds like a camper.
No, I was gonna say I'll back you up because if someone told me they went camping, I don't have a lot of follow-up questions usually. I
Oh.
don't care, like
You have more follow-up questions for my weight set than
yes,
you have for
I'm much
camping.
more interested than in your camping trip. No, because you're right. People can go. I guess it's like part of getting older or something, but I feel like people just around me started camping, and I didn't figure it. I don't know if it's when they got like in their 30s. It's like because when I was a comedian since I was young, so it's like nobody was camping. People were barely getting by doing stand up
Right.
and stuff, and then. Now I hear about people. It's the whole idea is so foreign to me. I don't know. I know
Right.
nothing about it. So I would give anybody the benefit. I have stayed in a yurt. A yurt counts, right? I like
I
yurts.
think a yurt counts. I've never done a yurt. I feel like you're not going to do anything in the middle of nowhere, nature, and go, I don't think we're camping. Yeah.
Right. Yeah.
You
Dude,
know?
I feel like if there's any campfire, if there's any fire situation,
Yes.
it's camping.
Yeah. Okay. So what do you need there for you guys to qualify it as camping?
If I have to give a shit, if I'm forced to give a shit, I would say a tent. The whole
Yeah.
well, or an
so
RV.
no
or,
yurt?
Oh, so you're not backing me up.
No. Because when you said RV, I was like, oh yeah, my aunt and uncle, they do an RV, and that's camping, whatever. It's less difficult. It's
Sure.
easier camping. But like in my head, when you say camping, I think, oh, tent or vehicle made for going camping, like an RV. But like Andrew said, you
Right.
go to a cabin. I don't know. I don't even think the people that built the cabin think that people stay in there are camping.
But what if it's like a
Oh, that's
no,
a
but-
great point.
no?
you
It's
know,
a
like,
cabin.
hey, we're camping. Oh, did you not want the cabin? No, we're going to camp in your cabin. Oh, okay, whatever you want to call it.
I don't give a shit.
Yeah, I don't give a shit.
What are you asking me if it's camping? God, it's a cabin. You want the keys or not? No, but I wait. Come on. What if it's one of those cabins that's like, really gross and like no electricity? Maybe there's electricity, but no television.
You sound like you're talking about one of my studio apartments that I lived in Milwaukee.
I think so there's two great points being made. The cabin
I
one,
don't know.
the cabin the cabin
mouth
was
in.
invented for people to be like, we've been outdoors, we don't want to be indoors anymore. We built this home so we're not out
Right.
there anymore.
It's almost the opposite of camping.
So it's the opposite of camping. Great point. Then the second point is, I think if you are depriving yourself of what would be in a regular home, what you consider home, you're somewhat camping. So if there's, like you
Right.
said, no TV, like
Or
maybe
even like
Wi-Fi's bad.
Yeah, even if there's no HBO, to me that's camping. The hotel room doesn't have HBO. This is camping.
Yeah.
So when my rich relatives stay at my house,
They're
for
camping.
holidays, they're camping.
Yeah.
They're camping.
They're sleeping on a couch, no HBO. That's camping.
Oh my God. This is
Anything that's worse,
Great.
you're right, Johnny. Anything that's worse than your house. Because most of the time you stay at a hotel, if it's like a half, for us, if it's like a nice to nicer hotel, that's nicer than our house, right? Now, if you're a
Right.
billionaire, there's probably no hotel on earth that's as nice as your house. You're just always, anytime you leave, you're camping.
yeah. Ramada Inn is camping.
Oh yeah, for sure. Super 8. Oh, roughing it. Did you bring a sleeping bag?
Yeah. You know what? This is bad. Let's go to a tent.
Yeah.
Yeah, the Super 8, just like the early settlers.
Yeah. Lewis and Clark saw a Super 8 and they're like, let's go up the river a bit. Let's see what else is there. Yeah, no, but that is to get back to your okay, first of all I want to clear up the cabin thing. I'm not talking about like a cabin. I'm saying if it's like a campground and then there's like
Right.
tent site. No, here's a cabin for like, a caretaker or the elder. To me, if you stayed in that cabin, you're part of the camping trip. You went
Yes.
camping.
I
You
agree.
needed like they only had cots with no sheets or linens or anything, so it's just like you needed a sleeping bag.
Right.
Like at summer camp, that kind of cabin.
Yes.
That's camping. As long as you go out and there's a fire and you get like smoke in your clothes and then you get a bunch of crack a bunch of shit into the cabin and the floor is gross. To me that's camping.
I think it's camping if you come back smelling different.
Yes.
If you come back smelling different,
Right.
you went camping.
Right. It's like a Grateful Dead concert is camping.
That's great.
Okay. Yeah, I'm
I
with
feel
you though.
backed up.
Yeah.
All right, good.
Just let people say they went camping. You don't have to be the camping police.
Yeah.
Exactly.
I'm with you.
Exactly.
Johnny,
All right. So
you're up, big
Fine.
boy.
hot button item here. Hot topic. So I think they need to regulate. So when someone okay, I'm going to back up. When you post something on social media, sometimes it gets screened. It's like, okay, we'll let you know when your video is posted after it's been screened and checked. I think when you make a post about how big of a fan you were of the celebrity that just died, it needs to go through a very strict screening process, because anytime anybody dies, it's just out of the woodwork. Everyone is the biggest fan, and it touches them, and it's such a loss for everybody. And normally I'm like, I've always been like, whatever. I'm not going to comment. There's people always
we know what you're
commenting
like.
Say your
about that.
phrase.
Say your line.
your
What are you
phrase.
normally like?
What?
What are you normally like?
Well, I don't say anything. I don't say anything.
Who gives a shit? That's what you're
That's
normally
what
like.
Thank you.
We
Thank
both
you.
had
I'm
it
very good
ready.
at picking up the cues. As Steve's like, yeah, and you're like literally telling me. I'm like, what's my line? What are we talking
See, Steve,
about?
this is the chemistry we're talking about. This is 65 episodes in where we do not miss a beat.
I can't believe that people didn't get that promo.
So anyway, we'll just fix it we'll fix it in editing. Who gives a shit?
There we go. What's funny is I was waiting. I was going to let you get this topic out, and then I was going to just immediately come at you like, I think I just don't give a shit. Why would you talk to me? But I was like, oh, my God, he's setting himself up to say it. He's going to do it to
And he's
himself.
too dumb to realize that's what he's doing.
Oh man, that was
So-
wonderful.
So I usually bite my tongue because I don't want to be the snarky whatever. And then Biz Markie died. I don't know a whole lot about him, but I had no idea that so many people on my friend list were really big Biz Markie fans.
Biz heads,
Yeah, exactly. Biz heads.
busybodies.
That's where I was like, all right, we gotta Come on. It's getting a little out of hand here.
Let's rein in the grief.
We
Come
gotta
on,
rein in the,
everybody.
this was my hair. You have to have a photo of you with the person.
Well, see that one. Okay, I'm gonna back you up. I think that's a great idea that the Facebook should Twitter or whatever should comb through all of your previous digital footprint to decide if you've actually been a fan of this person. Have you ever gone to a concert? Have you professed some sort of admiration for them before? I think that's a great idea. But the picture one, sometimes I think what happens is people, even if you're not a fan, if you see somebody famous, at a gas station or whatever, you're the type of person who just wants a picture with a famous person. You go to get a picture with Biz Markie, and then it's like maybe you never listened to, but then you just, once they die, you're like, oh, I got this picture with this person who just died. I gotta post that, and then you talk. So sometimes I think it's like a false way into fandom.
That's a good point.
I think part of the criteria is if you like that person's fan page, then you can slide through, but you got to see what date they liked it.
Yeah,
right.
You got to make sure they didn't like it post
right when they started getting sick.
Yeah. Oh, I just saw him cough on the news. let me hit like. And my big thing with it, and I think this is what you would put on the criteria, is you look at those obituary posts, you see it a lot with comics. It should check how many times you say the word me or I in that obituary post. Because a lot of people are like, yeah, he inspired me and made me think that I could do this. And it's like, you're talking about you more than the dead person.
Right.
It really, the death of Biz Markie really got me thinking a lot about my podcast and our new episodes that drop every Monday and how he would have loved it. And I think he would have really loved this next one.
I think he would have been a great guest, but he is no longer with us.
Yes. I see. That was an interesting one. I clocked that. I saw the same thing you did, Johnny. People like posting memories or that they were fans, but I'm so not a music guy. Like I just am really stupid with music, so I didn't know if that was like, people were legitimately giant fans of him or not.
What's your experience? I don't know if you have to be like a big, music file to know.
Well, I didn't know if he was like, some people are very influential to people who like love music. It's like with comedy, like if like there's certain comedians who died who like comedians, I'm sure, or like comedy nerds would go on and on about, and then a regular person, well, I never heard of this guy. Who cares,
See, I was going to try to make a connection, like a metaphor, like I was trying to think of a athlete that wasn't all that important or nobody had his poster up, but I only know like 4 athletes of all times. So
yeah, wait, Johnny, who's the most obscure athlete you can name? This is a fun game, actually. What athlete can you name that you think
George Bell? Do you know who he is?
Yeah.
No.
Baseball, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
I only know him because I had his baseball card, and he used to put his hat like on his head. He wouldn't pull his hat down; it was like resting on top of his head. And I always thought that was so hilarious. And I never.
That's pretty good. That's pretty obscure. I'll give you that. That was good. That was a fun little game.
That was good.
Are you a big sports guy, Steve?
No, I didn't even know that guy.
Oh my gosh, you might be the only person that I know one more athlete then.
Oh wait, okay, so you go, Steve. Who's the most obscure athlete?
I knew this was coming. I'm blanking on his last name. Damn it. My dad loved him. He was on the Cardinals. Mark something. Damn it.
That's pretty obscure.
Yeah, you guys don't know Mark something, do you?
I never heard of Mark something, so that's pretty good.
How about, all right, I'll go Ryan Lochte.
Well, yeah, no, I've heard of Ryan Lochte.
Damn it!
I haven't. Who's
Oh, you haven't, Johnny?
Ah!
Who is that?
Swimmer.
He's a swimmer,
Oh.
of course, Olympic gold medalist.
Got to be honest. That's a safe bet if you want to go obscure that no one's gonna know.
Well,
a swimmer.
yeah, that's you probably could name even more obscure swimmers, right? Because you're a swimming guy.
Yeah, Ryan Lochte. I
Or
can't-
maybe not. Who's your favorite water polo player?
Oh, I just like that that Polish coach.
You like that Polish coach is pretty good. I like him
Yeah,
too.
yeah.
Wait, so did you know who George Bell was, or you just?
I
took
did
my
not
word
know who
for it?
George Bell was.
But did Andrew?
I didn't know. No, I didn't know. I knew I would have guessed baseball, but I
Oh,
can't
okay.
picture him even now. So, because then there was part of me was like, is he trying to say George Brett and he just doesn't know the name correctly?
George
But-
Brett. Who's that? I thought that was
He's a baseball player too. So I was like,
Okay.
but you know for sure it's George Bell. So once
Yeah.
you seem more confident, then
It was Mark McGuire.
oh, that's
Ah.
not obscure.
I know.
Johnny, you know who Mark McGuire is, right?
Yeah. Didn't
Yeah.
he have the home run record and then had steroids
Yeah,
or
and then he took
Yeah,
the
very
steroids.
obscure,
Yeah.
obscure stats on that guy.
This was like the worst sports radio show of all time. Like, who's that guy? He's the home run champion. My dad liked him. What was his last name? He was like
was
the
he
most
even
famous.
on the Cardinals? Was he on the
Yes,
Cardinals?
he was on the.
Oh, thank
was
God.
he on the Cardinals?
Thank God.
Why does anyone listen to this show?
Who,
Thank
Mark
God he
McGuire was on the Cardinals?
Yes,
I thought he was on the. Wasn't he on the A's?
this is the worst sports radio show of all time.
Was he ever on the A's?
Yes, he started on the A's.
Oh,
Him and
I-
Jose Canseco. They were like the Bash brothers, you know.
Was
And
he
then he
friends
went
with
to the-
Sammy Sosa?
And then he went to the Cardinals. Sammy Sosa was on the Cubs. Then and then
But they were
broke.
buddies.
They were breaking the record at the same time. They were both on roids, and
I
he was in
remember that.
Chicago, and Mark McGuire was in. And they said at the time baseball was like dying, you know, like it's always dying because it's so boring. But baseball was dying at that time. They're like, oh, Mark McGuire and Sammy Sosa are saving baseball. That's what they. But clearly they didn't really
Wow.
save it because you guys have no memory of it.
No, I got Mark.
You did
Yeah,
get
well,
Mark
we
something.
both knew who they were.
Yeah, they saved baseball.
My dad loved him.
Is your dad from St. Louis?
No, my dad, huge sports fan. He's from Syracuse, which is where I'm from.
Oh, okay.
But diehard sports fan. Apparently, it skips a generation. He's listening right now, I guarantee you, and he was yelling, "McGuire!" he was yelling, "McGuire!"
I have no son.
My son will definitely not be saving baseball.
Oh man, but you know it's funny. But try naming a player now. I tried. The Mariners are getting pretty good, or I don't know. I'm trying to be a Mariner fan again, and they've sucked for so long. It's really hard.
Oh,
But it's very difficult to name.
Yastrzemski's grandson,
Sure.
right?
I don't know
Yeah,
who
maybe. I don't know.
I'm
That
pretty
is funny. That is weird. That happens. Like Vladimir Guerrero's kid is in the league now, and he's very good. And it's like when you get old enough to where the kids of the players you rooted for are in the league, that's a weird feeling.
I know because my dad was like, "Oh my God, I'm old," and I'm like, "Why do you say that?" And he's like, "My favorite player's grandson just ran on the field." I was like, "Oh my God."
Yeah, it's weird for me because I'm 36 and LeBron. I always remember LeBron James's age because he is the same age and he's been famous since he was like 12 years old. You know,
Who?
LeBron James. Have you heard of him?
Yeah, we just were watching the new Space Jam upstairs for my son's birthday.
Yeah, he's not saving basketball acting credits.
You know Johnny LeBron James from Space Jam. You might have heard of him
Two.
too.
Space Jam. It's a new legacy. The new legacy.
The new
It's not a sequel.
Oh, it doesn't recognize the original Space
No, they do
Jam?
a lot of breaking the fourth wall. Oh, this looks familiar. You know.
Wait,
hint,
it wasn't
hint.
a sequel?
I don't know. I don't think so.
The
Maybe
movie
it
was
is.
a-
I don't know. Maybe it is. They like make a joke about. Wait a minute. You're telling LeBron you need the tunes to help you to get your son back to blah 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 blah. And then Bugs Bunny turns to the cameras like, "This sounds familiar."
Yeah, but I thought they said that they did it before or
Oh,
something.
yeah, oh,
and
yeah,
I
yeah,
w-
that's right. And then they make a reference to Michael Jordan, and then Michael B. Jordan comes out.
yeah.
Spoiler alert.
Yeah, I mean, that's the best part of the movie. We just saved you some
Yeah.
time.
I'm not gonna watch it.
It's so bad.
Oh, you saw it?
Yeah.
Oh, I didn't know you have little kids.
Oh, it's a roast.
Oh, I borrowed him for
Ouch.
the. I borrowed him for the movie.
Oh, okay. Oh, that's not creepy.
No, I did a task rabbit.
Yeah. Does anyone have some kids I can use so I don't
Oh
feel like a
man, I would
pervert
totally.
watching-
That'd be great. If the little way to Johnny and I, we can make some income is renting out our kids to weirdos who want an excuse to watch children's movies.
Yeah.
Hey, there's an Incredibles 3 coming out. Can you?
It's gonna be a payday. All right,
Can
Oh,
I
yeah.
borrow Junior?
Junior. That's a great anonymous kid
Right.
name to like put in your act or something. No one really calls their kid Junior anymore.
Except for Indiana Jones' dad.
That's right. Indiana Jones' dad, and in Problem Child. Did you ever see Problem Child?
That's
He
a
calls
good
his
No.
kid Junior. I love that movie when I was a kid. It was very funny.
I haven't seen it.
Oh, it's a good
Oh,
one.
there you go. You like kids movies.
Is Mark
Borrow it
McGuire
too
in
and
it?
Check it out.
Mark
No.
McGuire in it. He has he works with Disney characters.
No, you know who's in
Alright.
it? This is really bad podcasting because I'm gonna have to like probably won't come up with his name, but he was like he was an actor. He was like in like sitcoms and he died young. He was the last sitcom he was in. He was in Rules for Dating My Teenage Daughter or something, and he
Oh,
John Ritter. John Ritter is in
Yeah,
it. Yeah, he
great
plays the
work.
dad.
Oh, that's right. Yeah, yeah.
It's very funny. Check it
And
out.
Michael Richards is in it.
What?
Yeah, Michael Richards. He says the N-word like 6 times. Crazy movie. But
he
it's
was
in context.
He was in
UHF.
yeah no Airheads. Have you
Oh,
seen-
really?
I didn't know that. I don't remember that.
Remember he was like in the air vents.
Oh, yes, that's right. Yeah, yeah.
I don't remember what he had to do, but I remember being like, "What's Kramer doing in here?" It's such a weird movie. Anyway, so you when celebrities die,
Oh yeah, thank you. I'm glad someone is
Yeah, someone has to
keeping
remember
track
at the
of
top.
this show. I'm with you, Johnny. I think it's
Yeah, I think you're right. I think you're right about the photos.
the photo. It's got the algorithm's got to be smarter than that. It's got to go
Yeah,
deeper.
it should look at your previous posts, your
Right.
your bio, your interests. You know, scan
And
for
the
that.
and the scary thing is, it could easily do that. They could easily tell if you're a legitimate fan based on like it knows like
Yeah.
what tickets you've bought and what your
Right.
credit card history is, and
Yeah, they already do probably way more than that.
so
I
go
did.
for it. Come on.
yeah, like, hey, just got engaged. BTW, I love Geddy Lee. And-
Yeah, you're like, oh, I have to put it in any post that I know is gonna get a lot of engagement. You know, like,
yeah.
wow, first time on the Tonight Show. By the way, I've always been a huge fan of Styx, so in case anything happens to them.
Just to cover your bases.
Just trying to work with the algorithm.
That would be humiliating though if you wrote out like a long post and you're like, "Oh yeah, time to chase some clout." When someone dies, and then you get like a message like, "Actually, your post has been denied.
Yeah.
You're not,
You're
a big enough fan."
Poser alert.
Yeah.
You've
The-
been flagged as a poser.
Yeah, the
This
app's
is
called
want
Poser.
sympathy.
Or like when for a while when Twitter was, instead of deleting Trump's tweets, they were just flagging them as like this might contain false information. They could put that on your post like, this person might not actually be a fan of the person who died, just warning you. So when you read this,
You're gonna see that on my post when Mark McGuire dies. I was a huge fan of Mike something.
I'll never forget that summer, whenever it was, when him and Timmy Sosa were going for the doubles record.
I remember them being on the same team.
I'll never forget it.
The Bash Cousins. Oh my gosh. Well, yeah. All right. Good, man. Good up. Good back. I felt like, Johnny, you get and Steven, you guys were a little slow to back me up, but you came around. Steven, we were right there for you. And
Thank you.
Johnny, the same thing. So good job, fellas.
Good
Thank you.
job.
Oh, hey, Steven, do you have anything you want to promote that you have
This
coming
one,
up?
we got to tell you when it's going to come out.
Oh, yeah.
On August 9th, is that correct?
Are you asking me?
Yeah, I don't know. We don't know. I think
I don't
August-
give
2
a
weeks. 2 weeks. Yeah, I don't give a shit. What are you asking me for? I don't care.
shit.
Put your stupid podcast out whenever you want.
Let's see here. August 9th. Well, the big thing is if you can come on out to Jamestown, New York on November 5th and 6th. I'm recording my album. And if you can't go, just please share it when it comes out, which I'm sure will be probably be out the next week because I know that those things come out so quickly. I was supposed to make you both laugh. But yeah, it's I already know the name. It's called Before He Was Super. Please share it or go see the recording. I don't know when in the future you're listening to this. So yeah.
Well, definitely check out the album when it comes out, or if you're in upstate New York. Jamestown's upstate New York, right?
Yeah, Western New York.
Western
It's
New
like
York?
near Buffalo. Oh, and
Okay.
also Panic Attacking podcast. It's really
That's
funny.
it. Yeah. Also
Yes.
the podcast. Make sure to listen to the podcast.
It's great.
Oh, and then what's your social media if you want people to follow you?
What if I was like, nah, I don't want any
Well,
followers.
then I'd be like, yeah, I get it. I get it.
Not these people.
No, I already know that I want your listeners.
They seem like they have a low bar. I want your
Right.
list.
If they listen to this,
if they come for high quality weight riffing, I want them.
God, if only they survived that first 5 minutes. Think what they missed out on if they turned
It's
it
a
off.
screening
after.
process. It's a
They're
screening
like-
process. Are they really in with us?
How
They're
committed
like,
are you?
what cat? Let's just turn this off. At not Steve Rogers. It's not Steve Rogers is the joke there, but Instagram and Twitter that's the handle, and then just StevenRogersComedy.com, and that's got all my other stuff on there.
Beautiful.
Sweet.
Yeah.
Beautiful.
All right. Well, that's it. Thank you, everybody, for listening. And remember to leave a 5-star review and what you need backup on in your life. And we'll talk about it on the show. And you can check out bonus eps on the Patreon. Johnny, the ep is up with your brother right now. So if you're
yeah,
a
we had an
Patreon,
episode where Scott Biener filled in for Andrew. It was-
Whoa.
Yeah.
so that's the
why Andrew was
videos up.
really on his toes this week.
I know. Couldn't you feel how much I brought it?
Yeah, same background.
5 minutes late.
Well, they
Actually,
don't know that.
I had to take a dump right before. Anyway, so thank you everybody for listening. The patreon.com/the Cavalry Podcast. And and then you can get the post-show banner if you sign up there. So that's it. That's the show. Thanks for everybody for listening to
The Cavalry.